Hey GP learners, do you hate going away from holiday, coming back and not being able to log on because you've forgotten all your passwords? Or do you hate having to change your passwords on a frequent basis and then not being able to remember all the different criteria that you have to do in order to redo it? It's a problem in the NHS because of IT systems, and I'm going to show you how to reduce your computer stress in this video. Let's tech enhance your primary care and learning. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Dr. Gandalf of EGP Learning, where I look at supporting you with technology-enhanced primary care and learning. And in this episode, I'm going to show you the tool I use to reduce my computer stress and basically make that whole password issue less of a problem. It's called Lastpass. I'm going to show you how to use it. As always, if you've got any comments or questions, make sure you contact me on social media, whichever platform you prefer. I'd love it if you could subscribe by ringing the bell as well to make sure you get notified first and foremost of all of our content, and leave a review or a comment either down below or on iTunes. Anyway, let's get straight to the tool. I'm going to walk you through how to use Lastpass to make your life just so much more easier. Shall we begin? Hey GP learners. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can use something like Lastpass to basically make your life so much easier and reduce all that computer stress that you have. Effectively, Lastpass is a password manager, and what that basically means, it's a repository for all the passwords that you can keep. It logs the usernames, the websites, and more importantly, the passwords themselves. And this is its main website, as you can see. It clearly details what it can do in a lot more than I'm going to be able to cover in this video, but I'm going to show you what it looks like from my end. So this is my Lastpass vault. So you have effectively an account, as you can see, and it keeps a repository of all the various different websites and stuff that you may use, and for whatever reason. Now, clearly, I'm not going to show you my passwords because, well, I don't really want to. But it allows you to keep a variety of different types of notes. So as you can see, we've got passwords, we've got notes, and other kind of things like addresses, payment details, and bank account details, and that kind of stuff as well that you can store in this repository. It's really secure. So you can create a master password to access your Lastpass, and that can be as easy or as complicated as you like. Clearly, a little bit of complication is sensible for security. And then as a result of that, you can then use that master password to access any website you want. So for example, if I wanted to go to the, let's have a look, see, the Derby Theatre website, I can just launch it directly from here. And because it's got all the details, it takes me straight to the website and it will log me in from there. So back at the dashboard, from here you can obviously change any of the websites that you may be using in terms of usernames, passwords, that kind of stuff. But going from the vault isn't actually the most important and powerful thing about this tool. What is that you can use this with any website that you want. So in order to do that, you do need to download the extension onto the browser that you're using. So whether that's Chrome, Mozilla, Firefox, or whether that's even Microsoft Edge. And that gives you a little thing in the top corner, which unfortunately I can't show you because of the way I'm recording this screen. But it's basically the Lastpass icon that changes colors depending on what you're doing. Once you've got that installed, you can then go to any website. Like, for example, if it's go to the Orca website that I use to recommend apps to patients, and I'll show you a video about that in the comments and stuff. But basically, if you wanted to log in, and then type in your password for the first time that you're using it, and log in. And when you do, the first thing it will do is ping up this, do you want to add it to Lastpass? So do you want to save these details so then you can keep using them? And by clicking yes, it lets you do that. And now that website is saved, so you've got that record for future use and stuff. So I can add it. There we go. All set and saved. Additionally, using the extension, so again, I'm afraid you can't see this, but if I click on it, it tells me that actually I've used that password elsewhere, so I can do a security challenge to check to see if that's relevant or not. I'm going to ignore that for now. But if the other thing it allows me to do from the extension is change various different things. So for example, I can add items directly if it's just a normal account, or I can even generate secure passwords, and it has various different criteria that you can use. So for example, you can put password length, whether you want it to be easy to say, easy to read, or using all characters. So if you've got a requirement that says you have to use all characters, and it will show you the strength of the password that you're trying to create here. I will be clear, this is not one of the passwords I use, but it shows you the strength of how you can make it more important, more stronger, that kind of stuff. As a result, this makes things really easy and effective to use. There's some other cool features about Lastpass as well. So you can use two-factor authentication. What that means is you can use things like either apps or text messaging and stuff to make sure that when you log into a website, it is definitely you. And you may have seen this with your email providers, that kind of stuff, when you're using websites and things. In addition, it lets you use your mobile phone as a repository. So I said earlier that you may not be able to download certain things onto computers, like for example at work on NHS computers and stuff, they can restrict what you use. Well, if you use your mobile, you can access your Vault from anywhere. So there are going to be some websites that clearly you can't use, or even some clinical systems that you can't use with the Lastpass overlay. Dead easy. You just access it through your mobile phone. And even easier, you don't have to remember the password because you can set it up for your fingerprint reader or your Face ID to access the app. So it's simple. You will not forget the passwords that you're using. How much of a stress reliever is that for you? I highly recommend using Lastpass. The best thing about it, you can use it completely and utterly free. So looking at the website itself, you can see the free features that this app has. So Secure Vault, you get that. You get access on all your devices. You can even share your passwords if it's relevant to do so. Now, clearly, I wouldn't recommend this for your clinical applications and that kind of stuff because that's in breach of NHS rules and governance and all that kind of stuff. But if you, for example, wanted to give an access to your practice manager for the bank accounts because you kind of needed to and didn't want to give her the actual account, well, you can send a method of doing that just by them registering with LastPass, having a free account, and then you can send a one-time access on that basis. You can see all the other things that it lets you do as well, and it has the multi-factor authentication as you can see there. The premium features give you a little bit more, so you can do one to share to many. You can also do emergency access, so you can set up somebody that's always got access to your data if you need it, for example a partner or practice manager if you wanted to do that, and more advanced features like geolocation, multi-factor location stuff and things. It's really cool, but basically it means that you can set it so that your passwords only unlock in particular locations, like for example work. I'm sure the tech geeks out there will love that kind of thing. It also gives you a bit of storage and other kind of stuff as well. I do use the premium feature as you've seen on my thing, and I do think it's worthwhile. If you're looking at the cost of it, to be honest, it's not the most expensive thing in the world. So looking at the pricing plans themselves, for free, well, it's free completely. For one user per month, it's £2.30, which works out, about 27 quid a year. And if you wanted a family subscription, so you can have up to 6 users, £3.7 a month. That's not a great deal of money, and you can claim it back on your tax as well because it's a work expense. Awesome. I highly recommend using something like LastPass, and I know other people have mentioned other apps out there, so there's things like 1Password or KeepSafe and stuff that do similar sort of job. LastPass, I do think, is one of the cheapest ones out there, as well as being one of the most effective and one of the most well-used ones. From a security perspective, it's awesomely safe. 256-bit AES encryption, and they use hashtags and all this other kind of security stuff that I'm not going to go into more detail, but basically it means that only you can see your data. It is as secure as you could be. I would highly recommend using this just to make your life so much more easier, guys, and I hope it does. If you did want to give it a go, feel free to go to the website and sign up for free. However, in addition, I do have an affiliate account for this. So if you were to sign up, I get a tiny little something if you use my link. And that link is bit.ly/EGP Learning LastPass, all one word. You'll see that coming up on the screen below. You don't get charged anything by doing that, but if you do, I get a tiny little something. So complete declaration there. So EGP learners, I hope you found that useful. I think this is a really cool tool, and I would highly recommend that you give it a go. Let me know if you have done. Contact me on Twitter at drgandalf52 or at EGP Learning, or on the Facebook page, YouTube, LinkedIn, Spotify, all the various different places. I'm all there on there. If you do want to leave me a review on this content, I'd love that. And the best place to do so is on iTunes if you're listening via the podcast, or on YouTube if you're watching this video. And as always, guys, make sure you subscribe so you get all this content first and foremost. As I said, any comments or questions, let me know. Are you going to give it a try? I'd really like to know. Catch you in the next episode.